At 47, after losing everything, his business, his marriage, his health, Marcus found a single Stoic principle that rebuilt his entire life in 18 months. He stopped making excuses and started owning every single outcome. He transformed a $50,000 debt into a thriving consulting firm, now grossing over $2 million annually. This wasn't magic. It was ruthless, unyielding accountability. Now I challenge you. Are you ready to strip away the comfortable lies you tell yourself and embrace the uncomfortable truth that will force your growth? Most people chase motivation. They wait for inspiration to strike, for the right feeling to begin. But motivation is fleeting. It's a temporary high. What if I told you that relying on motivation is the single biggest impediment to your progress? This emotional volatility leads to inconsistent effort, with 92% of New Year's resolutions failing by February. You need something stronger, something that doesn't ask how you feel, but demands what you do. The Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius commanded himself, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." He wasn't waiting for a spark. He was acting with intent. This is the core of true accountability, an internal pact with yourself, sealed not with emotion, but with an ironclad commitment to action. It's not about feeling good. It's about doing good, regardless of feeling. The accountability trick isn't a complex system. It's a brutal simplification. It's about making your commitments non-negotiable by making the cost of failure explicit and immediate. Consider the entrepreneur who publicly declared his goal to launch a new product in 90 days, vowing to donate $10,000 to a cause he despised if he failed. He met his deadline, avoiding the painful consequence. This external pressure created an internal furnace. You are inherently biased towards comfort. Your brain seeks the path of least resistance. That's why 73% of people admit to procrastinating on important tasks. This isn't laziness, it's a biological default. The trick short-circuits this default by making the comfortable option, inaction, far more painful than taking action. You leverage the primal fear of loss against your own inertia. Seneca warned us, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." This continuous improvement is only possible with a feedback loop, and that loop is accountability. Without it, you operate in a vacuum, believing your own narratives. You need a mirror, and sometimes that mirror needs to be held by someone else, or a system so unforgiving it demands your respect. The first step, define your outcome with brutal clarity. Not "I want to be healthier," but "I will run 3 miles 4 days a week for the next 90 days. Vague goals yield vague results. Research shows that specific, measurable goals increase success rates by 50% compared to general intentions. What exactly do you want to achieve? Write it down, make it concrete, remove all ambiguity. Next, establish the cost of inaction. This is where it gets uncomfortable. What will you truly lose if you fail? For the tech founder, it was a public shaming and $10,000. For another, it might be publicly admitting failure to a group of peers or enduring a painful physical challenge. This cost must be genuinely deterrent, something you genuinely want to avoid more than you want to relax. This isn't about self-punishment, it's about strategic self-coercion. It's understanding your own psychology. You are more motivated to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. This isn't cynical, it's human. By engineering a painful consequence for inaction, you create a powerful internal drive that overrides temporary discomfort or distraction. You are turning your weaknesses into your greatest strengths. Epictetus taught us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The accountability trick forces you to react. It eliminates the option of passive acceptance of your own mediocrity. When the cost of not doing the work is higher than the discomfort of doing it, action becomes the only rational choice. This isn't an external force, it's a self-imposed discipline. Consider the case of Maria, a freelance designer who struggled with client deadlines. She started using a system where if she missed a deadline, she had to pay 20% of her project fee directly to a rival firm. Within 3 months, her on-time delivery rate jumped from 60% to 95%. The financial hit was too painful to endure. She transformed her reputation and her income. Your mind will resist this. It will whisper excuses. "I'm too busy. I'm too tired. It's not the right time." This is your lower self clinging to comfort. This is the moment you must remember your commitment. This is the moment you must choose to be the person who honors their word, even to themselves. This internal battle is where true character is forged. The most powerful version of this trick involves public accountability. Share your specific, measurable goal and its accompanying painful consequence with a trusted friend, mentor, or even social media. A study found that individuals who share their goals publicly are 65% more likely to achieve them. Why? Because the social cost of failure becomes intolerable. You create a contract not just with yourself, but with the world. This public declaration is not about seeking validation. It's about building an unshakable foundation for your actions. It taps into our deep-seated need to maintain face, to honor our word. The fear of appearing inconsistent or failing in the eyes of others can be a more potent motivator than any internal desire for success. You are harnessing an ancient human mechanism for modern results. For those who choose a private accountability partner, select someone who is genuinely committed to your growth, not just a cheerleader. This person needs to be ruthless, unafraid to call you out when you falter. Think of a drill sergeant, not a therapist. Their role isn't to comfort your excuses, but to demolish them, ensuring your commitments are upheld. This relationship is your crucible for discipline. Remember, man conquers the world by conquering himself, as Zeno taught. Your internal world dictates your external reality. This accountability trick is a mechanism to conquer that internal resistance. It forces you to confront your self-sabotaging tendencies head-on. It's a daily practice of choosing discipline over desire, forging resilience with every completed task. Don't fall into the trap of over-optimism. Set realistic, yet challenging goals. If your goal is to write a book in a month and you've never written anything, you're setting yourself up for failure and therefore for punishment. The aim is consistent progress, not a single heroic sprint. Small, consistent wins build momentum, and each completed task reinforces your new, accountable identity. The biggest misconception is that growth is comfortable. It is not. It is painful. It demands effort. It requires you to shed old habits and beliefs that have held you captive. The accountability trick isn't a shortcut to success. It's a tool to force you through the discomfort, ensuring you don't retreat when the work gets hard. It's a lever to break free from your own self-imposed limitations. This method has been used by some of history's most productive minds, from authors like Victor Hugo, who wrote Les Miserables in a self-imposed lockdown, sending his clothes away to avoid leaving his house, to modern CEOs who stake company shares on achieving quarterly targets. These are extreme examples, but they illustrate the power of raising the stakes. What are you willing to stake on your own potential? You have a choice. You can continue to drift, hoping motivation will magically appear, or you can implement this brutal, effective accountability trick. Start today, define one goal, establish one painful consequence, and then act. This isn't just about achieving goals, it's about becoming the kind of person who achieves goals. It's about building an unshakable character. It's about taking ownership of your destiny. The time for excuses is over.